By the way, I look real crazy to be taking deliveries. Like, what am I wearing right now? I have got to step this up very soon, y'all. During my last video, I was trying to make some sense of my living room area when they finally delivered our couch. We've been waiting for a few weeks. So this is the Marlow Couch from Castleberry. I ordered this couch online based on the reviews. I just loved that it was a sectional, that it was kind of poofy and round. So the look that I'm going for in this room is kind of a Japandi vibe, Japanese and Scandi vibe. And this couch in the boucle fabric fits this style, to me anyway, perfectly. The fabric is performance fabric, so I'm not really worried about light colored fabric on a couch. Besides, if you really know me, then you already know. You've been here for a minute, you know that we have the cloud couch in white, which has slip covers, and we slip those off and wash them and put them right back on. This will be my first true boucle piece, and from what I understand, boucle is very forgiving, but I guess we will see. The Marlow couch, this particular one, which is, I guess, the round couch, the curved couch, comes in 3 sections. The sections can be attached, or you can leave them separate, or you can put them together but still leave them unattached. If you're like me, that's probably what you'll do, because I like the versatility of being able to move the different sections and reconfigure them whenever I feel it's necessary. I have to say, I'm also impressed with the packaging of the couch. It came very, very, very secure, and I don't have really any complaints. There was one little tiny chip on the wood in the back at the bottom. If you look really closely, you can see it, but it's not something that's too noticeable. And honestly, I'm not sure if that was done while we were putting it together or during the shipping process. Either way, I'm still very pleased with how it came packaged. Pro tip, the long red string that you saw earlier in this clip, that actually was attached to all of the screws and the hardware and things that you need to put on the bottom for the feet of the couch. That was actually located inside the couch. So if you are thinking about buying a couch from Castleberry, this one in particular, keep that in mind. That's where the feet are and any additional hardware that you may need. I'm going to stop talking now and let you guys watch me put this couch together. This is where we are, a week and 7 days in. I thought we'd be further along. Not that this is bad. I mean, I think we've done good for 7 days. Half of our couch is delivered. It is now half because we realized that it is a little small for this space. So we're actually going to put another half pretty much where I'm standing. And it's going to look a little swanky. It's like an updated, modern day, like, what do they used to call those? Lounge pits back in the 70s. It's kind of like an updated version of that. And I think it's going to be cute once it's done. It'll be a nice place to hang out when we have parties and people over. It'll be a great space, I think. I think it will. But right now, it's kind of just a couch that's floating onto this rug. And I have to order a console for here. And I probably need to get that soon because our big tall lamps will be here. Need to think about what I want to do with the fireplace because we want to do something special. We don't want to just leave it like this. And then I have found a coffee table that I really, really like and that I think will work in this space. Hide rug is not going to stay here. I actually want to put something lighter. I want to layer with something lighter. If I layer at all, I actually am in love with this rug. I got it from Rugs USA, I think. And when I put it down, I was like, this is not going to work with this couch. Like, it's just not going to work. And lo and behold, it actually is working. In fact, let me pull this away. There. I love this. Like, I didn't think I was going to. I thought it was going to clash with the kitchen. It is not clashing. So, yay. And, oh, looky.
I saw Todd and Lucinda.
Aw, they got to meet Sasha.
Yeah.
Look, here comes the baby doggy.
And,
Yep.
he said they put the wrong backsplash on somebody's. No, you can't go over there. You're soaking wet. Okay. She said these are at the will of the county. They put them out when they have time. I was like, okay, that's fine.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't mind starting.
I mean, I thought you wanted to rip up the floor before we painted it.
No, you want the floor.
Wow, so pretty.
It's just always so busy.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. I guess people that like to live in the city like that buzz in the city. Like people that like New York City, they like that go, 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 go mentality.
I don't know. New York City to me is just so like, it's overwhelming. And that's why I'm being from the city. It's still overwhelming.
But I think LA is a different kind of city.
Yeah, it's not as overwhelming.
Yeah, it doesn't buzz like that.
And this is when style goes out the window. What do you do when you have a ton of stairs and you need to move stuff? Stairs like this. Yes, I'm breathing awfully hard because I've had a break from the stairs for a couple of days, and wow, it's like starting all over again. And more stairs, and yes, more. You do an assembly line, which apparently none of the movers that we've hired could figure out. When I weigh myself on Sunday, if I haven't lost at least 1 pound, I'm fighting somebody.
Those more staple everyday pieces like the polo shirts, I think it's, yeah. maybe buy a t-shirt, but then they will save up and they will buy that investment coat or the blazer or a piece that they've really lusted after for many.
He was no longer my husband. Or rather, he was still technically my husband, but we would no longer live as husband and wife. His intention to be my husband, forever and ever, amen, had changed.
By the way, I started a new book. It's called The Community Board.
Mercy, Skip said. His boots shed little mounds of snow onto the tiled floor. He cleared his phlegmy throat. I met someone. Her name is Bianca, and I think we're done here.
Do people really break up with people like this, especially people they've been married to? Crazy.
Done? I asked. It sounded like something you'd say to a waitress who hovered over the table, wondering if she should clear the plates.
I do have the physical copy of this book, but I thought, why not listen to it on Audible while I clean yet another refrigerator? Another refrigerator that I had not planned on cleaning. But this is typically what we do when we leave a house. We try to leave it better than we found it. I try to leave people like that too, better than I found them. So far, I really think I'm gonna like this book. I'm not liking how it's starting, but I'm gonna give it a chance.
Us, Skip said, pointing a finger first at me, then at himself. We're done. And listen, I'm sorry, I am. Well, my lawyer is really nice. She'll email you. Skip rezipped his coat, returned his hat to his head, and left. On the table, steam rose from the tea. On the floor, a trail of dirty slush marked his exit.
Well, one thing is for sure. I already know. I don't really like Skip. Something about the cover of this book caught my eye, and then I read the synopsis, and I was like, this might be good. I love any book with a small town, quirky characters, and that just seems pretty wholesome. So I'll be reading this one both on Audible, listening, and reading the physical copy of the book, all while I'm moving. It's actually a great way for me to go to sleep at night, though, because usually by the time I get in bed now, with all that's going on, I'm pretty wired. I finished tomorrow pretty much while I was moving. Really strange. I guess I have to be doing something that's a little stressful in order to read. But hey, whatever works, right? I'll let you guys know how this one goes. Look at that man sweeping.
He's my man bag.
With his man bag. What?
That's urban man bag.
What are they doing? Clearing out the last place. Now you guys can see the stairs that I was talking about. So, the entrance, you come in, there's a hallway. Walk up the stairs. Obviously, we've been cleaning because we can't leave this house dirty. I mean, it was dirty when we got it, but that's another story. The garage is that way. Stairs. I zoomed out to give you a better effect. Next level of stairs. There's 8 stairs and another step. Another 8 stairs. We are not up yet, you guys. Another 8 stairs. Finally, the flat. What?
Your friends.
Okay.
And I need to clean them. So.
Okay. Finally, we're here, and you guessed it, more stairs. So this is the living room, office, powder room, oh look, and I'm cute today. Look how cute I am today. Yeah, I did a tiny little haircut, just a little one. Family room. Kitchen. By the way, don't get slate floors. They always look dirty no matter what you do. No matter what. Stairs. Up. For someone young and healthy with really strong calves, this is a great space. Secondary bedroom, another secondary bedroom, really nice size closets, very nice. This was my daughter's bedroom. Laundry room, which you may have seen. Actually not a bad size, but you have to share it with all of the inner workings. The HVAC system, hot water heater, all that's in here too. Yay. Secondary bathroom. Go ahead and take these, toss them. Nobody wants to use anybody's gloves. That was my daughter's bathroom. The master, where the fort was and where all the magic happens. Luckily for us and for them, because I would have done it, they're taking up all this carpet because it's hideous. It's terrible. And I can't believe we lived with it for 10 months. But still a really nice space. Like, this was a great space. It's funny, when they were building these, we looked and we actually really kind of liked them. That was also, we were also still very much in our early 40s and still a lot healthier than we are now. Okay, and then here is the water closet. So you've seen pretty much everything. This was my bathroom, and we've, for the most part, cleaned everything pretty well. So they will do the walkthrough. I'm gonna sit in the car. I don't feel like being sociable today. But it's back down the stairs, you guys. Back down the stairs. Not a bad space at all, really not. It's actually a cute space. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I would have purchased this bad boy and been like, look at my cute city apartment, because it really is accessible to everything. Like, there's so many restaurants and stores and activities to do in these parts. It's actually a beautiful space, and it's so walkable. Like, I have built up a walking habit living here. So there have been some really good outcomes from moving to this space. Also, my butt is really tight from walking up all the stairs. And yeah, not a bad situation. We're moving on to literally greener pastures and less stairs. So I'm so excited about that. And I can't wait to make that house a home. So yeah, I thought I'd just show you guys this little tour of this house as well, since I'm showing house tours. And because I'm into home decor, even a space like this is interesting, because if I were gonna stay here or I was gonna buy this place and maybe rent it out as an Airbnb, I would really try to push this space to the limits, because it has great bones. All right, you guys, that's it for my temporary empty house tour. I didn't obviously show you this while I was living here, because I was living here. It's really been, we've had summer now for 3 days. Summer solstice was the 21st, so whatever day that was, and it is now the 24th, I think. And it has been a cold summer. Relatively speaking, it's been a cold summer. We had the fireplace on for the last 2 days in the house in the morning because it's been cold. And now it's warm enough to be out with no top. It's warm enough to be out with no sleeves on, but when I was riding in the car over here, there was like a torrential downpour, and it started to get really, really chilly, so I turned on the heat. And now I just have the heat on low. But it's summer, and I'm not complaining because I hate an oppressive, hot, sticky summer. So right now we're closing out what is a chapter of our lives. For the last 10 months, we have lived in that condo back there. We lived there for 10 months while we were having our house built, and it was a great experience because we love this neighborhood. It's a young, vibrant neighborhood, lots of little kids, lots of businesses and places to eat. My husband wants to go have IHOP after this though. The really cool swanky spot that we like, he's not dressed for that. I dressed for it because I was like, oh, we can go there, but he didn't. So now I have to go to IHOP. I don't really want to go to IHOP, but he actually was able to choose. And you know, they say women can never choose where they want to eat. But I always know where I want to eat because it's usually more than one place. I have a list. He does not ever know where he wants to eat. So we typically eat at the same places when he's picking. Anyway, so we're going to end up at IHOP, which is fine. I'll have an omelet, maybe, you know, some crepes or something. I don't know. But boy, do I want Matt and Tony's. They have the best ricotta sweet potato donuts. I probably shouldn't even think about it because I'll just get mad. And we don't want that because this is a happy time. He's doing the walkthrough right now with the new owners of the house that we were renting. They're walking through. When we got the house, it was crap. I mean, it, you know, great location. It was a nice house or whatever. But like, you could tell that the people who rented before us or whoever was in it before us, they did not take care of this place. And so, the new owners are already like planning to rip up the carpet and, you know, repaint and do all of that, as they should. If we were buying this place, which we would never buy this place, but if we were buying this place, we would have done that. We would have ripped up everything. It looks like they maybe did some sort of work on the house between the time it was built and now. And just the craziest things, like the microwave is crooked, and there's like the cabinets, there was beadboard on the cabinets, but they're also regular cabinets too. So I'm missing an earring, I know. So yeah, maybe you can see it through the, oh yeah, look, you can. Yeah, that's our condo up there. We're done. Just received our security deposit back because we left the house way better than we found it. I'm not gonna even talk about the crime scene in the powder room that I found when I moved in there. But it was a great place for us for 10 months. We lived there. We got to enjoy this wonderful neighborhood, which is up and coming. Well, not really up and, well, yes it is. They are building a lot of new buildings. It's a young neighborhood, lots of kids, and the people are fairly nice. It's just cramped and we need our space. Not my favorite Target. IHOP.
So does it disappear?
Okay, so the IHOP was pretty good, but what I really need is some coffee. And apparently the traffic is crazy going back home, and I still need to make a Trader Joe's stop. So since I need to make a Trader Joe's stop and the traffic is bad, I'm gonna go into the bookstore, because it's a bookstore, and Barnes & Noble, and I'm gonna get coffee. I'm also gonna pop into Home Goods because I just bought a new house, and you have to go to Home Goods when you buy a new house. That's like, it's like a requirement. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'll hit the Trader Joe's. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So, Home Goods, Barnes & Noble, Trader Joe's. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's like a clown car. Eventually I'll get home, but you know what? There's no rush because I live there, and it'll be waiting for me. All of the things that I have to do will be waiting for me when I get there. I'm just so glad that the old house is finished. It's a strange day, you guys. It's a weird, strange day. It's partly cloudy. No, it's mostly cloudy, but the blue sky is kind of peeking through. It's warm, but not really warm. I'm gonna go to Home Goods now, and hopefully I'll find something that I can use in my house. All right, let's go. I did eventually make it to Trader Joe's and Barnes & Noble too. And one of the things that I did end up purchasing, because it just fits my decor so much, was the bee pillow. Now, here is a similar pillow to the bee pillow, but it has a snake on it. And I feel some type of way about snakes. Although apparently there's a snake on my Gleaming Primrose mirror. I never noticed. If you don't notice, does it count? But this is the pillow I actually ended up buying. It's a bee pillow. It matches my chair. For the record, this is not coffee. This is dessert. I mean, I know most people know this already. I don't ever do chocolatey things. Like, that's not my thing. But I decided today to treat myself to a chocolatey coffee because I have completed a milestone by moving out of our temporary house. And I thought, you know what? Do something decadent. And guess what? This is a little too decadent. I should have stuck to my usual oat milk shaken espresso with, blonde ristretto shots instead of dessert in a cup. Like, this is literally all of my calories for today. One of the things that I can't wait for, though, is when I am fully in my home and back to eating the normal way that I eat. I probably won't finish it because it's really sweet, but it's mint chocolate chip, which is one of my favorite things in the world. And I'm gonna put a dent in it, especially if there's traffic. Oh, plus I still have to go to Trader Joe's. Finally back home, sitting in my favorite spot on the porch. Seriously, clearing the last place, that's such a weight lifted off my shoulders.
It was the first time I touched another human being since arriving in Murbridge. No haircuts, no manicures, no accidental brushing of fingers at the grocery checkout. No friends to hug, no parents to kiss. The embrace left me.
So our main character, Darcy, has left Boston, gone on sabbatical from her job, and basically left to go back home to the town that she grew up in to be consoled by her parents, who just decided not to tell her that they were going to move to Arizona for a year to try it out and see if they liked it, because they needed a change. So she finds herself by herself. It's funny because once upon a time, I probably would have done the same thing, but there's no home to go back to. Like, literally, my family is my family now, as far as I'm concerned. At this point, I would probably just move to another part of the house if something crazy like this happened. But of course, we don't manifest those things because everything is fine. And if it's not, it will be. Anywho, my baby girl got a new wok and she's seasoning it. So I cannot wait for the meals that are going to come from this thing. So excited. And speaking of meals, have I ever introduced you guys to Jason and Susan? Meet Susan and Jason. How do you like your kitchen? These are our really, really, really good friends. They're like family. I mean, it's beyond friendship. And honestly, we built this kitchen for Susan. I mean, I cook, my daughter cooks. Of course, we built it for us, but we really built it for Susan because she's straight up a chef, y'all. She's literally the only other person outside of our family that I will let cook in my kitchen. My sis can seriously burn, as they used to say. It is Monday. We are 11 days into being into our house. That sounds right. I'm always so confused. And I thought I would try to save these hydrangeas that I clipped a few hours before. I don't think they're going to make it, but I decided I would try to save them because I love a good cut flower. And I don't just want flowers in my garden. I want flowers inside my house as well. So we'll see how well they do. Honestly, in spite of giving it the good old college try, I don't think it's looking good for the home team. They're so wilted. Oh well, at least I tried. So before we moved here, Chelsea got a wok. And she has attempted to recreate the breakfast scramble at Chick-fil-A because we eat way too much Chick-fil-A in this family. It's the Lord's chicken. And so we have to do what we're told, right? But seriously, I think she's done it. There's some hash browns in here, chicken sausage, and eggs. She's still learning how to use the wok though, but I think she did a good job. She says it's gonna need a little more seasoning, so I'll taste it, but I think it's gonna be fine. And if I do it like Chick-fil-A, I might even have some Polynesian sauce. We'll see. It's good. I like it. I literally have no one to blame for this but myself. Of course, I had to dump my plants on the white Berber carpet. My husband hates this carpet, so I guess in a way, this is his way of saying that we're getting rid of it. I think it should vacuum up fine though, but happy Monday. Instead of winding down with a book this evening, I decided to wind down by watching Charlie and Josie's wedding. I am so excited for these two. The wedding, oh my God. Like, it was the epitome of a soft wedding. I was over the moon for them. I just think everything turned out so beautifully. And I was here for all of the flowers and the celebration, the ceremony. It was just all so beautiful. Just beautiful. Congratulations. So to be honest, I didn't film very much on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Just organizing the house. Just trying to find a place for all of this stuff. And trying not to lose my mind in the process. I will say that almost 2 weeks into the process, we are making a dent. Things are starting to come together. It's starting to look like a house, not a home, because I'll be making it a home for a very long time to come. I'll be making it my home, but it is starting to become our house. And I'm really starting to see the things that I really need and that I want to do. Of course, I've made 150 trips to the nursery. Not that many, but quite a few. In the last 12, 13 days, I have gone to the garden center more than I can count. A couple times we went twice in one day. And that's because I'm working on the inside and the outside of my house at the same time because it's summer and I want my summer flowers up. And I never really knew how many pieces of Tupperware I had. You don't know these things until you move. So if you're someone who hasn't moved in a while, just a suggestion from someone who has moved quite a bit, I would go ahead and take inventory. Just take some inventory, see if you have things that you really don't need, because when you move, those things multiply. And I have seen things that I'm not even sure I know where they came from. And I don't know if that's like just fortuitous or if it's scary, but I know that this probably won't be our last move. I know that at some point I may even be bi-coastal. That's the dream. And I do know from this experience, as from the last experience, I don't want to be 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years into a house and then you leave it and you have an incredible amount of things that you never used. You may not even know where they came from, or, you know, that just don't serve you anymore. So this is a reminder to everyone out there. I don't like telling people what to do. I just like to give suggestions based on my life. It's just a cautionary tale. Take inventory of your stuff. If you have a lot of things, or if you feel like you have too much stuff, you know, you might just want to start a 1 in, 1 out rule, or, you know, look around your rooms and see what can be deleted, like what's absolutely necessary. Marie Kondo suggested that we, you know, see if our things spark joy anymore. And if they don't, thank them for their service and then let them go serve someone else. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I can honestly say that, you know, this move, I felt weighed down. And now I want to feel as light as a feather. So we're keeping things that are useful, beautiful, or have some real sentimental value. And everything else can go. So thanks for watching 2 weeks of me being in my new house. Hey, you guys, it is Future Bella popping in. I wanted to pop in mainly to tell you that I finished the book and I wanted to do a little mini review, but I also kind of wanted to give you guys kind of where we are in time. Now, you're seeing me as of right now in this moment, I am 3 weeks into my house. So you guys are a week behind. I've already had another week in the house, and you will see that next week. But I wanted to pop in to kind of give you an idea and some clarity on where we are in time. By the end of this vlog, where I was organizing my kitchen, organizing my detergent pods to go under my sink, that would have put us about 14 days into being in our new house. When I cleared the old house, we had already been in about a week. We chose to move in early so that we could be working in both houses at the same time. And that by the time we were done with the old house, we would already be in the new house. So we actually started sleeping here day 2. Like, we closed and we did some things that day. And then that next night we slept here. And mostly I just did that because I knew that I would be getting tons and tons of deliveries. So I wanted to make sure that we would be here to receive those, that someone would be here to receive those deliveries. I wasn't going to be driving back and forth in the morning to receive deliveries. So the first night we slept on the concrete in the basement. Huge mistake, because we slept on the so the first night we slept on the floor in the basement, but it's concrete underneath, and it was a huge mistake. I mean, it was so hard. Even though we did get the premium pad, it was really hard. That was a huge mistake. We should have made a pallet or found or bought an air mattress. We have an air mattress in one of the pods. We should have done that. The second night we had our stuff delivered, or the big stuff anyway. But of course we didn't get a chance to put our bed together. So we slept on the cloud couch, and now I want a cloud bed. I'm like really campaigning for this cloud bed because the cloud couch is lovely. It is absolutely wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful. So that is something that I am campaigning for. If you hear any noise in the background, 3 weeks in, we have people who are in because they had to rip out that backsplash. And so that has been done. They also had to repair the cooktop, which we just found out today that our cooktop arrived damaged. When the guy came from Samsung to put in the new cooktop, that one was damaged in the exact same space, but he didn't know that, or in the exact same spot, I'm sorry. But he didn't know that until he took it out of the box. So we don't have a kitchen, which means that now we're still eating out, or, you know, kind of roughing it for meals. We do have our toaster oven. We could plug that in and like warm up frozen pizza, or the ovens do still work, but I'm not really wanting to do anything with the gas right now because they're having to take, you know, to deal with the cooktop, they're having to turn off the gas and stuff. So yeah, 3 weeks in, it's a little crazy. So it's still crazy for us, but that's okay. It's a good kind of crazy. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys a context of what's going on. And you will see all of this in the next vlogs, but I just thought it would be a good idea to, like I said, again, pop in, maybe offer some clarity just in case you were confused, because I know I was saying like what day it was when I was doing the videos, but I haven't really been very organized with that. So as of the end of this video, you are watching us be in our house. You are watching the time frame of 14 days in the house. 2 weeks after closing, 2 weeks after moving in, that is where you are. And the next video that you will see will be week 3 of us being in the house. So today is Friday. You probably won't see, well, you won't see this footage. Obviously, this footage is just for this video, but today, you probably won't see today until week 4, because today is actually going in to week 4 for us, I think. Something like that. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, you will definitely, everything that I've done and that I've seen and I've been through with the house, you will see some snippet of that. So you will get to see everything. Trust me, I won't leave anything out. But the other thing that I wanted to do before I end this video was just go ahead and do a mini review of the book, because the book did kind of factor in the video. I took the cover off. I typically do that when I read, just so I don't mess up the covering, because it's kind of a hassle to deal with. This book was so good, and I kind of wanted to pop in and do a review too, because I'm on TikTok, and I don't know if you guys are on TikTok, and I really do find that oftentimes the discourse on TikTok is not always the same as a discourse on YouTube, at least not on my channel. And I have had to take huge breaks from my main TikTok channel because people are so dogmatic over there. I understand that women have issues in this world. Black people have issues in this world. Race is an issue. Racism is an issue, and we should definitely attack it head on. Also, you know, sexism, all of those things, misogyny, patriarchy, politics, left and right, all of those things exist. And I don't want to pretend like they don't matter. But I guess one of the things, and I kind of want to talk about this a little bit here, one of the things I feel like is when you're living a soft life and you've elevated yourself to a certain level, you've found that humans are just human. Now, everybody might not agree with that, but I honestly believe that in my life, I don't have the room to hate people. I don't have the room to hate people for what they might do to me because of their skin color or what happened in the past. I don't have room for that in my life because I'm trying to create an existence that is filled with love and light and positive energy and abundance. And you can't have light and darkness exist in the same space. You know, yeah, they can kind of be side by side, but they're always going to be fighting each other. And I choose a life of lightness. And I feel like being soft also means letting go of trauma and also not inflicting trauma on myself. So when I read books, I don't read Black books. I don't always read books by American authors, even though I'm an American. I don't always read books by women. I read more books by women than I do by men. But it's not like something that I'm dogmatic about. I don't have this like need to only read a certain type of book. And while I do believe representation matters, I believe at the end of the day too, though, we all should be representing ourselves. Like, it's good to see people who look like me in certain settings, but that is not the be all end all of my existence, because I am here and I need to be making sure that I put myself in certain settings, if that makes sense. So I can watch a TV show that doesn't have characters who look like me, and I'm going to judge that television show by how it's written. I'm going to judge that television show by the content, the acting skills, like how it moves me. You know, I'm not judging it by who's in the cast. And the same thing with books. Everybody has a story, right? And every story is not a great story. Every story is not entertaining. Every story doesn't always have a moral message. Not every story is funny, but a lot are. And you can learn so much about the world. You can learn so much about how other people see the world when you read their stories. And I know that people of color sometimes feel like they're bombarded with other people's stories, and I get that. But for whatever reason, I don't have a problem finding stories from people who look like me. I feel like I'm looking more though for stories that resonate with me on some higher level besides physical appearance. So maybe that's why I do end up finding those stories. I look for universal stories. I look for stories that have a message for all of humanity, not just Black people. So that's a big discourse right now on TikTok. And I wanted to talk about it here. One, because it'll prevent me from going over and making a rash TikTok that will probably just get me in trouble. And two, because I feel like I can explain myself better on this platform. Now, not everyone will agree. And the beauty of that is I don't need everybody to agree. But this book was very good, and I just briefly wanted to tell you guys about it just in case you're interested in a very, honestly, lighthearted read, laugh out loud, funny read, very witty. I gave it about 4.25 stars. On Goodreads, I only gave it 4 because you can't do the quarter thing. It wasn't a 5-star read for me, mainly because, and it has nothing to do with race, because it's about a white lady who has a white husband who lives in a predominantly white town. And in the book, they actually do address the social issues that we're going through in a very roundabout, very lighthearted, very interesting way that's not like preachy or in your face. But it's a good, wholesome read. I'm kind of happy to have read a book where the person wasn't dropping the F-bomb every 5 minutes, because I feel like we've become very cavalier with that word here recently. And it was kind of nice that there wasn't a lot of cursing in the book. But it's about a lady whose husband leaves her, and she's a millennial. She's young, so she's like my daughter's age, which was very interesting to read about because I'm not a millennial. And there, again, I'm reading about something that is not my experience. I'm not represented in the experience, but yet I can take the story at face value. But she moves back to her hometown in Massachusetts. It's a little small town. And she finds out who her real friends are. And she finds herself in the process. And it's really cute and funny. It's quirky. And I love quirky because I'm quirky. It's just a story about people and how people live their lives. And it's different from my life. I don't relate to everything in the story, but I relate to the feelings and I relate to the things that the people are doing. Like her parents decide to up and leave and move to Scottsdale, Arizona, I think. They just decided to move there because they've lived, on the East Coast and the Northeast all their lives, and they wanted to try something different. And they thought maybe if they moved to a drier climate, things would be better. So they leave, but they didn't tell their daughter because they didn't want her to talk them out of it or panic. So when she arrives in her hometown and goes back to her family house, the house is there ready to receive her, but her parents are not there to console her. And that's part of the story. Some might think the main character is a little whiny. I like that she's whiny because I see her growth arc, and I like it when I see someone grow. So it was an easy read. I listened to a lot of it on Audible, and it's so funny listening to it on Audible sounded a lot like a cross between listening to it on Audible sounded like a cross between Seinfeld and Gilmore Girls to me for some reason. That's just what came to mind. So if you like those shows, then that might resonate with you. If you don't, then it might not. But I thought that was rather funny. Plus, I listened to it on 1.5 times speed because when I listen to audiobooks, I feel like they're always too slow. So it was very chatty and conversational. But the jokes hit, and I loved that. It was funny, lighthearted. And I was able to read this book while I was moving, which I'm still blown away by because y'all know I was struggling to read when I was at the temporary house. And I've discovered that mood matters when you're reading. It was my way of winding down when I, was retiring for the night after a full day of moving and cleaning and organizing. You shower and you get in the bed and then you're wide awake and you're like, why can't I sleep? Pick up a book, at least for me. And I'm out within, a good, 15 minutes. So I was able to get a lot read that way. And then as you can see, while I was cleaning, I was listening to the audiobook. While I've been organizing in the house, I've been listening to Audible. So Audible, you can totally sponsor me because I use you and I can share you with my lovely subscribers. If you're out there listening, Audible. But I listened to it on Audible and loved it. And you know what? It's very interesting. So if you don't care what your characters look like, if you don't read books based on only your experiences, unless this is your experience, if you're a white millennial woman who just happens to follow me, first of all, welcome. But you might like this book because you might see something in her, too. So you might want to check it out. It's called Community Board, and it centers around the digital, the community board of the town. So that part's really interesting too. And it's weird because I gave you kind of a synopsis of the book, but it takes you places that you didn't think you were going to go. And there's a great moral to the story at the end. In fact, there's a lot of messages in this book. The only reason why I didn't rate it a 5 stars was because I really wanted her to expound a little bit more on the relationship with her husband and why he left. And, you know, I don't know. I wanted a little bit more of a backstory that I didn't get. And because ultimately that's not what the book is even about. Like, that happens, but that's the catalyst for everything else that happens in the book. So it's not a book about this man leaving his wife, if that makes sense. It's more a book about this woman finding herself. And I get it, but I would have, I mean, even if they just took a couple of pages to give me, like, you know, was he just bored? Like, why did he leave? And maybe that was explored and I just missed it. So, you know, I'm not going to say, you know, maybe if you read it, you might see something that I didn't. I saw her questioning herself a lot about why he left, but there was no real answers. And maybe that's the way it was meant to be, you know, and if that is the way the story was meant to be, I accept that because that is the story and I don't change other people's stories. So if you tell me a story, I'm going to take it at face value. But I felt like if I had just a little more insight into their relationship, it would have made the story a little more fleshed out for me. Other than that though, 4.25 stars. Tara Conklin, the community board. I'll pop the cover up here somewhere so you guys can actually see it. I thought it was a 4.5 read. I thought it was an easy read, fun read. Definitely a great beach read because it's just, you'll fly through this, honestly. And funny, like even when I was listening to parts of it and like my daughter and my husband would walk into the room while I was listening, she would say something and they would laugh out loud too. So if you get her sense of humor, you'll love this book because it was funny. She's very self-deprecating at points, but it works. It doesn't sound like, woe is me. It's more so like, wow, like I need to get myself together. I can totally relate to that. All right, I'm done. If you're still here, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, like the video. If you like it, please leave me a comment because comments always let me know like what you like, what you don't like, where your head's at. When it comes to these videos. And next week will be, next week is already filmed and it's already in the works, but it will be week 3 and you will see what week 3 was all about next week. So you will be seeing, next week you will be seeing what's happening now. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all my new subscribers as well. I have quite a few new subscribers. I appreciate you. And I appreciate the old subscribers that have been here forever too. Thank you guys. Spread the word about the videos too, because I have lots of design projects in the work and you guys in the works. And you guys, some of you may have already seen this, but I am about to purchase the most stunning piece of art. I just love it. And I can't wait to show you. Probably 2 videos from now. Maybe I'll preview it even sooner. All right, take care. Love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.